Let me ask you something. How many times have you started something, fired up, ready to take on the world, only to slow down the moment people around you changed? Maybe they stopped supporting you, maybe they doubted you, maybe they just walked away, and suddenly your momentum crashed. Listen to me. People will change. Life will shift. But your focus, that's on you. You can't tie your success to anyone else. You've got to build an unstoppable drive that nothing and no one can shake. Because the moment you master your focus, you take control of your future. And that's power. Change is inevitable, but growth is a choice. Every single day, life presents us with an opportunity to adapt, to evolve, to rise above our circumstances, or to remain stuck in outdated patterns. People will change, that's a guarantee. Friends who once stood by your side may take a different path. Mentors who once guided you may move on to new endeavors. Even family members may shift their beliefs, perspectives, and behaviors as they navigate their own personal journeys. The question is, how will you respond? Many people resist change because it disrupts their sense of stability. It's uncomfortable when someone you counted on isn't the same as they used to be. It can feel like a betrayal when a relationship no longer serves the same purpose it once did. But let me ask you this. How much energy are you wasting trying to hold onto a version of life that no longer exists? Far too often, we tie our happiness, our confidence, and even our ambition to the people around us. We tell ourselves that as long as we have certain relationships in place, we'll be okay. But what happens when those people change? What happens when they shift directions? If your sense of purpose is anchored to external circumstances, you will always feel unstable. You will always be at the mercy of forces beyond your control. But here's the truth. You are responsible for your own growth. No one else is obligated to stay the same for you. No one is required to maintain a static role in your life just because it makes you feel comfortable. The only thing you can control is your own progress, your own mindset, and your own commitment to becoming the best version of yourself. That's why it's crucial to develop an unshakable foundation, one that isn't dependent on who stays, who goes, or who changes. Let's be real. There will be moments when the people around you no longer align with your vision. Maybe a friend who once shared your dreams starts prioritizing different things. Maybe a partner you thought would support you for life begins moving in another direction. It's tempting to take it personally. It's tempting to let it derail you. But if you do that, you're giving away your power. The most successful, resilient individuals in the world understand one key principle. They are the architects of their own lives. They don't expect anyone else to build their dreams for them. They don't depend on external validation to keep them going. They recognize that change is natural, but their personal mission remains unshaken. You have to train yourself to see change not as a threat, but as a sign of growth. If people in your life are evolving, that means you're in an environment of movement. That means life is shifting, and that's a good thing. The alternative is stagnation, and stagnation is the fastest way to lose your momentum. Think about nature. A river is always flowing, adjusting, reshaping the landscape around it. The trees shed their leaves in the fall only to bloom again in the spring. Nothing in nature remains static, and neither should you. But here's the distinction. You have to make sure your changes are intentional, because here's what happens when you resist change. You stay stuck. You hold on to relationships that no longer serve you. You waste time chasing old versions of people instead of embracing what's next. You become bitter, resentful, and distracted, and worst of all, you lose focus on your own journey. The moment you accept that people will change and that you are not responsible for keeping them the same, you free yourself. You release the emotional weight that's been slowing you down. You stop looking backward and start looking ahead. So what's the action step here? First, you have to build an internal foundation so strong that no external shift can shake it. Your mission, your vision, and your values must be clear. When you know exactly who you are and what you stand for, it doesn't matter who comes and goes. You stay locked in. Second, you have to embrace the reality that not everyone is meant to stay in your life forever. Some people are temporary lessons, some are catalysts for your growth, some will be with you for decades, and others will exit when their part in your story is done. Instead of mourning every change, start seeing it as an evolution. If someone leaves your life, trust that it's making space for something new. And finally, stop letting outside factors dictate your commitment to your goals. If someone was once a source of motivation but no longer provides that same energy, don't let that be an excuse to slow down. If a support system you relied on isn't there anymore, find a way to push forward anyway. Your purpose should never be dependent on anyone else's consistency. The only thing that matters is that you keep moving, keep growing, keep pushing forward. Let the world around you shift, let people change, let circumstances evolve, but you stay focused, you stay committed, you stay unshakable in your pursuit of becoming the absolute best version of yourself, because in the end, that's all you can control. And that's more than enough. One of the biggest mistakes people make is tying their focus to others. They build their dreams, their confidence, and even their sense of identity around the people in their lives. They believe that as long as certain people stay, as long as they have a particular support system, they'll be able to keep going. But what happens when those people change? What happens when they leave? If your focus is anchored to others, you are constantly putting your success in someone else's hands. And that's a dangerous place to be. You have to recognize that people are unpredictable. They grow, they shift, they experience life in their own way. That means they won't always show up the way they used to. They won't always support you in the way you expected. Some will get busy with their own challenges. Some will outgrow the relationship you once had. Some will take a completely different path that no longer aligns with yours. But none of that should shake you if your focus is where it needs to be, on your own mission. When you allow other people's actions, decisions, or opinions to dictate your direction, you give away your power. You start second-guessing yourself. You slow down because someone who used to believe in you isn't there anymore. You lose momentum because a person who once pushed you forward has shifted their priorities. That's how people end up stuck, frustrated, and lost, because they spent so much time leaning on others that they never built the internal strength to stand on their own. The truth is, you have to take ownership of your path. You have to build a foundation so strong that even if everyone around you disappears, you keep moving. You have to be driven by something deeper than approval, recognition, or external motivation. Because if your drive is dependent on outside factors, then the moment those factors change, you'll find yourself without direction. Now, does this mean you shouldn't appreciate the people in your life? Of course not. Having a strong support system is a gift. Finding people who encourage and uplift you is powerful. But they should never be the reason you keep going. They should be an addition to your journey, not the foundation of it. If you make them the foundation, you set yourself up for instability, because people, no matter how much they care, are not meant to be permanent fixtures in your life. They evolve just like you do. So ask yourself, who are you doing this for? Are you working toward your goals because you truly believe in them? Or are you doing it for validation? Are you staying consistent because you're committed? Or are you relying on someone else's encouragement to keep you moving? The difference is everything. When you truly take ownership of your focus, you stop seeking reassurance. You stop waiting for someone to show up and push you forward. You stop depending on external motivation and start building an internal fire that doesn't burn out no matter what happens around you. That's the kind of focus that creates results. That's the kind of focus that separates those who succeed from those who get lost in distractions. Distractions come in many forms. Sometimes they show up as doubt, the voice in your head that questions whether you're capable. Sometimes they come as temporary setbacks that make you feel like you're failing. And sometimes they show up as people. People who mean well, people who love you, people who once supported you but now unintentionally pull your attention away from your goals. The moment you recognize that your biggest responsibility is to your own vision, everything changes. You stop expecting consistency from others, and instead you demand it from yourself. You stop blaming circumstances, and instead you learn how to adapt. You stop letting emotions dictate your progress, and instead you build the discipline to push forward no matter what. Think about every successful person you admire. They didn't achieve what they did by constantly looking around to see who was cheering them on. They didn't wait for someone else to believe in them before they took action. They had a vision, they had a purpose, and they refused to let anything shake their focus. That's the mindset you need. Now let's be real. This isn't always easy. There will be moments when you feel alone, moments when you wish things had stayed the same, moments when you miss the support you once had. That's normal. But you have to remind yourself why you started in the first place. You didn't start this journey to impress people. You didn't commit to your goals just to be validated. You started because something inside you knew you were meant for more. And that something is what you need to hold on to. The people around you will shift. Some will leave, some will change in ways you never expected. But that doesn't mean you stop. That doesn't mean you slow down. If anything, it means you double down. You push harder. You get even more locked in on your mission, because the truth is, those who are meant to be part of your journey will stay. And those who aren't, let them go. At the end of the day, the only thing that truly matters is how focused you are on your own path. If you can stay committed, no matter what's happening around you, you will get where you're meant to go. If you let distractions take over, you will spend your life wondering what could have been. And I promise you, regret is far heavier than the temporary discomfort of staying focused. So make the decision today. No more waiting for the right support. No more seeking approval. No more letting other people's choices dictate your own. Stay locked in, stay committed, stay focused. Because at the end of the day, the only person responsible for your success is you. Distractions are everywhere. They come in the form of people, situations, doubts, fears, and even your own thoughts. Life will test you, constantly pulling your attention away from what truly matters. And if you don't have a vision strong enough to withstand those distractions, you'll find yourself drifting, starting things but never finishing, chasing success but never quite reaching it, getting excited about a goal only to abandon it when the excitement fades. The truth is, only those who master focus will ever achieve lasting success. Your vision is the anchor. It's the thing that should be so powerful, so deeply ingrained in your soul that no amount of external noise can shake it. But here's the problem. Most people don't truly define what they want. They have vague ideas, scattered ambitions, and temporary desires. They say they want to be successful, but they haven't taken the time to paint a crystal clear picture of what that success looks like. They say they want to change their lives, but they haven't committed to a plan. When your vision is weak, distractions win. When your vision is clear, distractions lose. Think about the last time you set a goal. Maybe you wanted to start a business, get in shape, improve your mindset, or develop a new skill. At first, you were fired up, you were excited, motivated, ready to take action. But then something happened. Maybe you got busy, maybe someone discouraged you, maybe doubt crept in, and before you knew it, you lost momentum. What happened? You lost focus. You let the distractions become louder than your commitment. This is what separates those who succeed from those who stay stuck in cycles of frustration. The ones who make it to the top are not necessarily the smartest or the most talented. They are simply the ones who refuse to lose sight of their mission. They wake up every day with a sense of purpose. They remind themselves why they started. They understand that motivation will fade, but discipline will keep them moving. You have to train yourself to protect your focus. That means setting clear boundaries. That means eliminating distractions before they have a chance to take root. That means making your vision so compelling, so exciting, that you don't even entertain the idea of quitting. Most people allow themselves to be distracted because their goals don't mean enough to them. They allow temporary setbacks to throw them off course because their why isn't strong enough. If you want to break that pattern, you have to make your vision bigger than your excuses. Now, let's talk about how life will test you. There will be moments when things don't go as planned. You'll face setbacks, obstacles, unexpected challenges. You'll have days when self-doubt creeps in, when progress feels slow, when you wonder if all the effort is even worth it. These are the defining moments. These are the times when your vision will be tested the most. Do you stay locked in, or do you let circumstances dictate your path? Do you keep pushing forward, or do you let frustration take over? Every single person who's ever achieved something great has faced these moments. The difference is they kept going. They understood that challenges are part of the process. They refused to let distractions pull them away from their purpose. They saw every obstacle as an opportunity to sharpen their focus, not as a reason to quit. That's the mindset you need to develop. One of the biggest distractions in life is seeking approval from others. Too many people adjust their goals based on outside opinions. They worry about what their friends think, what their family thinks, what society expects of them. They spend so much time trying to please others that they forget to chase what truly matters to them. If you want to achieve real success, you have to let go of the need for validation. You have to trust yourself enough to keep going even when no one else understands your vision. The truth is, most people won't see your vision the way you do. They won't understand why you're putting in the work, why you're making sacrifices, why you're so committed. And that's okay. Your vision is yours, not theirs. You don't need permission to pursue it. You don't need everyone to believe in you. You just need to believe in yourself enough to stay focused no matter what. So how do you build this level of focus? First, get clear on what you want. Write it down. Define it in detail. Make it so vivid in your mind that it feels real before you even achieve it. Second, remind yourself daily. Don't let your vision fade into the background. Keep it front and center in your life. Third, eliminate distractions, whether that means distancing yourself from negative influences, cutting out time-wasting habits, or setting strict boundaries. And finally, develop the discipline to keep going even when the motivation isn't there. At the end of the day, your ability to focus will determine your future. The world is full of distractions, but you have a choice. You can either let them pull you away from your goals, or you can rise above them. You can either waste years chasing temporary desires, or you can lock in on a vision that truly matters. The choice is yours. But remember this, only those who master focus master life. Life is about growth, change, and evolution. Nothing stays the same, and neither should you. The people you surround yourself with will change, situations will shift, and new opportunities will arise while old ones fade. But in the midst of all this movement, there's one thing that must remain constant: your commitment to who you are at your core. Far too often, people confuse growth with losing themselves. They believe that in order to adapt, they have to compromise their values, change their principles, or abandon the things that once mattered to them. But true growth isn't about becoming someone completely different. It's about becoming a better, stronger, and wiser version of yourself. It's about learning, adjusting, and evolving without sacrificing your foundation. One of the biggest mistakes people make is allowing external influences to shape their identity. They mold themselves based on the expectations of others. They shift their values to fit into certain social circles. They suppress parts of themselves just to be accepted. But the moment you start changing who you are just to fit in, you lose the essence of what makes you unique. That's not growth, that's self-abandonment. Real growth is about alignment. It's about making sure that as you evolve, you're still staying true to your purpose, your values, and your vision. Think about a tree. As it grows, it expands, it branches out, it reaches higher, but its roots stay deep in the ground. Without those roots, it would fall with the slightest wind. You have to be the same way. Let yourself evolve, but never lose touch with what keeps you grounded. Now let's talk about influence. The people around you will always have an impact on your mindset, your energy, and your decisions. As you grow, you may start noticing that certain relationships no longer align with your values. Maybe you've developed new goals, but the people in your life are still operating with an old mindset. Maybe you've outgrown certain conversations, certain habits, certain ways of thinking, and here's where many people struggle. They fear that if they evolve, they'll lose relationships. They hesitate to grow because they don't want to leave people behind. But here's the truth. Not everyone is meant to go where you're going. Some people are temporary, some are lessons, some are stepping stones, and some will be with you for life. But you can't stunt your own growth out of fear of change. If someone is meant to be in your life, they will grow with you. If not, you have to be willing to move forward anyway. Holding on to relationships that no longer serve you is like trying to wear clothes that don't fit anymore. It's uncomfortable, it holds you back, and it stops you from stepping into who you're meant to be. However, adapting doesn't mean being rigid. Growth requires flexibility, the ability to learn from new experiences, and the openness to see things from different perspectives. If you're so stuck in your ways that you refuse to evolve, you'll limit yourself. Stubbornness is not strength. True strength is knowing when to hold firm and when to adjust. There will be times when you need to reevaluate your beliefs, shift your approach, and update your mindset based on new information. That's not losing yourself, that's refining yourself. Many people resist change because it's uncomfortable. They cling to familiarity even when it's holding them back. But comfort is the enemy of growth. Every breakthrough in life happens outside of your comfort zone. The key is to recognize the difference between adapting to grow and changing just to please others. One moves you forward, the other pulls you away from your true self. So how do you make sure you're adapting without losing yourself? First, know your core values. What do you stand for? What principles guide your decisions? If you don't have a solid foundation, It's easy to get lost in the opinions and expectations of others. Second, surround yourself with people who challenge you to grow, but also respect who you are. The right environment will push you forward without forcing you to compromise your identity. Third, constantly check in with yourself. Ask yourself, am I evolving in a way that aligns with my purpose? Growth should feel like an expansion of who you are, not a replacement of who you are. At the end of the day, adapting is necessary, but losing yourself is not. You are meant to evolve. You are meant to step into new levels of success, wisdom, and understanding. But through it all, you must remain true to the person you were always meant to be. The world will try to shape you, people will try to define you, circumstances will try to change you. But if you stay grounded in your values, if you hold on to your vision, if you stay connected to your purpose, nothing can break you.